Hello everybody, my name is whimreaper and welcome back to my channel if you are subscribed, or welcome if you've never been here before. Thank you so much subscribers for your continued support on this project. I'm super excited to be releasing version 5. That seems insane to me that there's already 5 versions. There should be coming like at least 2 more, but yeah, I'm really excited. I'm getting to the point where almost all of the worlds are done. I think the notable ones I haven't done would be the Island Living world and then also Evergreen Harbor, since I don't have that pack. But really, it's getting close to being fully done. So today I am happy to announce that Brightchester and Granite Falls are completely redone. Now, before I get into the video, I would like to just quickly say, a quick thanks to all my subscribers. I am so blessed to have all of you. And to those of you who aren't subscribed, I would love it if you would do so, or even just leave a like if you enjoy this video, seeing my save file, all that stuff. I say this now because at the end of the video, I think I'm going to do a few channel updates. Things have been a little weird and I haven't had time to address it. So don't be daunted by how long the video is, because a lot of that will probably be updates. But I'm gonna get right into the save file portion. We're gonna look at Brightchester first. I have a lot of screenshots from this world, so I'm not gonna go into any of the builds because you'll be able to see that closer to the end of the video. But basically, I have redone every single building, every single townie is new. All of them have relationships with someone or another. Some of them have relationships with people from other worlds. So if you have City Living, for example, Killian here has a relationship with somebody from there. I'm excited about some of the builds in this world. The dorms I'm not a huge fan of, but I think that it's limited. They're basically penthouses, and I didn't want them to look like they stood out too much, so I normally would completely bulldoze the lots, but here in Brightchester, the Drake and Wyvern Hall, what I did instead is I completely changed the roofing and like the wallpaper and stuff, but I left the overall shape just because there's not that much you can do with it anyway. These ones are completely redone though, these dorms, and let me tell you, I struggled to make shapes that made any sense on top of a roof. But there are a few choices of where your Sims can go. Obviously, these ones are full, but you can kick out households you don't want, and then you can live in there instead. But there are also limited households in this file. As you can tell, there are only 4. And now I'm not doing this because I'm lazy. Trust me, I'm doing it because I am noticing there's a lot of lag, especially in this world, just because the dorms are pretty, I don't know why, but they're pretty difficult for the game to run. That's why there are fewer households. Obviously, add your own if you feel like it, do whatever, but that's how I have it. So Ruth is actually kind of split off from the base game version of this save file, because her dream was she wanted to go to college. So finally, with the addition of university, like she can go to college, so she's living in this dorm here. Foxbury has this Larry's Lagoon, which is the common. I really love this one. It kind of sticks out because of how colorful it is, but it also is really cheerful on the inside, and I feel like your Sims could go there for the whole day and not have to leave. The only thing would be energy. There's a lot of couches, so they could like sleep on the couches, I guess. But I think it looks like a really realistic university commons. I'm a student, so I should know. And I just really am happy with how it turned out. It's really unique, but also very bright. I love it. And then we have this simple modern dorm for the housing that is more separate from the like traditional dorms. And basically it's just like a big house. It has 4 bedrooms, and you could some of them are really small, and then there's one big bedroom. So you could have a couple living here, you could have just one person and get roommates or whatever. It's pretty versatile, and also I think it's pretty playable because it has a lot of space in it, which usually I don't like to do that with my builds, but I've been more into it lately. So I know someone commented on one of my other videos, probably the first hostile comment I've had, but I don't know if I should call it hostile, actually. If you're watching, I'm sorry, I don't know how to address it. But basically, they were saying that my stuff is more for looks and not for function, and I have to say, yeah, some of it is, but this time I've taken heed to some of that advice. It should be much more playable than San Maishino, for example. Anyhow, moving on. We have this library. It's Alexandria's library. It's based off of the Library of Alexandria, as far as I know from the reference photos. But it is pretty simple, actually. Like, it looks beautiful, but it is, it's just a library. In the bottom, there's like a whole bunch of books, and they've got the computer section, bathrooms, the whole deal. I think it's a beautiful lot. I'm proud of how it turned out. And I think that it's just like it's a mix up from the commons, because I tried to put computer spaces and bookcases in the commons, so really the only difference with the library is the vibes. So that if you want the Alexandria vibes, go there. If you don't, go to the other commons or whatever. Then in this little middle area, we also have Leo's restaurant and bar. I really love this one. It definitely reminds me of, like, I don't know, like a European kind of pub vibe, but also I've seen buildings like this in Canada. It's good because it is a restaurant, but if you don't have dine out, you could totally just switch the lot to a bar and it would be perfectly fine. There's bar in there, and there's also everything you need to run a restaurant, as well as like everything set up, like the outfits, the menu, all of that. So it's functional as both. So if you don't have dine out, don't worry, but if you do, then there's a restaurant for you. We've got Killian here. He is a professor. I'm gonna say he was probably teaches at Brightchester because he has high writing skill. So he's probably an English prof. He knows a lot of instruments too. He's into science, as you can see, because his house is a science layer, but he has a bit of a hidden story. I'm gonna give you a hint to figure it out. If you go into the manage households place, there is someone who is not in world who is part of his story. So you can read up on that. I'm not going to get into it. But then we have the Weller household. These are two twin brothers who have decided to go to competing universities. I would say that they're really close. I don't think that they have any bad blood about going to different universities, but of course, if you play with these two, you can change that around however you want. I think they're both really handsome, and I tried to make them not that stereotypical, like Eli is going to Brightchester as a historian, Raiden is going to Foxbury as a computer engineer, but I think that they both are kind of charming. Raiden isn't just like a complete geek, like he is a geek, but he's also got like relationships with some other students. He's not a complete loner, and then Eli is like, he's a really polite guy. He's not a snob at all, so I think like I kind of tried to mix up the stereotypes a little bit. And then there's me. So if you guys want to play my self sim, you totally can. As you can see here, I've just put me and my cat in this world. I put myself in here as kind of like a just a thing, you know, like Plumbella did it, Little Simsy did it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll be in here. Get rid of me if you don't want me here. My cat is adorable though, so I'm sure you want to keep her. Although, yeah, I don't blame you if you don't. But basically, I'm here if you care. Since I'm a university student in real life, I give myself my real major and all that. So if you care to learn anything about me, you can click on my sim. Also, I am really overpowered, and I didn't do that on purpose. It's just like that because I'm taken from another save file where my sim has a lot of skills. So like I said, the dorms here are fairly the same, except the interiors are completely different. I would say Wyvern Hall is not as good as Drake Hall, but they do have like a lot more fancy decorations. Drake Hall just has a lot more rooms, a lot more variety of places to hang out. So it depends on what your playstyle is there. I try to make all the dorms in both campuses have different skill building objects. So depending on what dorm you pick, you'll probably be able to find one that has an object in it that will help your sim with their degree. Then we have Darby's Den, which is the U-Bright Commons. I didn't rename it or anything. I just thought, like, why? It's the school's branding. So this one, I definitely tried to match it more to the builds in the world. I thought that what the commons looked like before was like really garbage in Brightchester. Like, it's just so dingy. Like, I don't think I improved it all that much because I wanted to keep that classical feel. But at least there are like computers and things you can use on the second floor. There's like a little spot up at the very top floor where you can just like have a private chat with someone instead of having to just be like stuck on one floor and everything is just kind of awkward. I don't know. I just find that the U-Break Commons that EA made makes me feel super uncomfortable. And then finally in Brightchester we have the Stokes house. I made a little story surrounding this one because I thought, you know what, there's a lot of universities that have historical buildings, so basically this story is, it's about the Stokes family who basically fundraised a lot of the money or like just like put forward funds for the university, and therefore they have like this house where they lived on campus, and now it's a dorm basically. So it's like a historical dorm where one of the influential families of the university used to live. So that's the story behind that house. I really like the layout of it. I was just looking at it a few minutes ago and it kind of shocked me that I came up with that. Honestly, like, I normally wouldn't do anything of the sort, but I really like it. Again, it's just like a nice dorm for multiple people. But yeah, that's Brightchester. I'm really happy with it. I know that someone commented they wanted Brightchester next, so I really tried my hardest to get out as fast as possible. I'll explain at the end of the video why it took a bit longer than I thought it would. But yeah, that's Brightchester. Let's move on to Granite Falls. I will go into a couple of the builds in this one briefly, but not all of them. So this is what it looks like. Obviously we have all the rental lots over here. I was contemplating putting in a steakhouse. I might make one and then put it on the gallery if you want a steakhouse restaurant instead of another rental lot. But I thought I should put some variety of rental lots. That would be more important than having a restaurant. And then we have the nature center up here. So I'm gonna go into the nature center and show you guys what that looks like. I'm really proud of it. I think that it turned out absolutely beautiful. So this is it. I'm gonna turn off the grid. I will show you just like what it looks like from the walls up view. So basically we have a few different sections. This section here is like a barbecue picnic section. As you can see, there's a lot of greenery. It took me so long to place all of it, but I think it turns out so gorgeous. It really gives you that kind of like Rocky Mountain or like Alps kind of feel rather than just it being like it's just like in the forest. I want it to be really like apparent that it's in nature, and they hardly did anything to change it. There are bathrooms, so you don't have to worry about your Sims needing those. I think there's also bathrooms in the center itself. I might be mistaken. There's a little swing set for your kids, a little water bucket to play with. I try to make like a little pond. It's kind of like a hot springs. It's got some of those things from Get Together in there, so it'll steam a little bit like a little natural hot springs. And then we have these two buildings. So this building here is like a watchtower. There's not very much in it, kind of some kids activities. And then there's the main nature center. So the watchtower, like I said, is kind of bare. They've got just like this little table up here. If you look across here, I'll just show you this quickly. It's just like a little sitting room on the other building, but I'm gonna go through and show you. So I'll just kind of put the walls like this, I think. Then there's this little reading nook if you just want to go and read if your family's spending the day here or whatever. And then there's this little puppet show area for the watchtower. And then of course they're connected on this platform, deck kind of. And then you have the nature center. So the nature center very obviously has a whole bunch of like fish and stuff, showing like what you can catch in the area. It has some like wood carvings, a little fish bowl even. And basically I think it's just immersive to have like a little campsite with some of the area's history in it. Like for sure in Canada we have these in a lot of places. So I'm really happy with how that one turned out. You know what? I think this is the hardest one to see on the gallery. Everything is on the gallery, by the way, except for the campground. If you want to check these out separately, then you can do so. So I will show you this one just because on the gallery, the like thumbnails and stuff don't show it off well. Okay, so this is what it looks like from the front. So you kind of come in this way, and then there's this fireplace right in the front of the building, and then there's a huge decked area. As you can see here, these two buildings are separate, much like the nature center, where they have this building here and this building here, but they are connected by a walkway, and you cannot get to this floor here by a door on the first floor. So you actually have to go up to this floor in order to get into this area right here, which I'll explain a little bit later. But also outside there is a swimming pool. It's right next to the river and kind of like the lake as well. So I think this is like the perfect location if you want like a really bougie stay, because it's like right close to the river over here, also close to the lake, in the middle of the forest. It's just like really remote and relaxing. There's even like a little public campground over there if you wanted to like hang out with other families that might be vacationing. But I'll show you the gist of the inside of this build. So like I said, the second floor is the only way you can get into here, and the reason why is because it's like the honeymoon suite of the build. So I wouldn't really recommend this to be like a two-person campout. You could do it if they're really rich, but it's kind of big for that. But basically, it's for the parents, it's like presumably a bunch of kids to be able to hide away from them during the nighttime, so they can have a bit of a romantic time as well as some family time. Honestly, like, I'm not even a parent yet, and I'm like, that sounds pretty good to me. So if you know what it's like, this is designed with your parent Sims in mind, so they can get some peace and quiet on their vacation. But also, of course, you can have some family time, because over here we have a little room with a foosball table and a game table all set up, a guitar, so then if anyone knows guitar, you can have a fun time singing some songs together. The bathrooms in this build I love. They're kind of like my aesthetic, personally, what I would like for my bathrooms if I had a house. There are a few of them. There's a wash closet here, and then there's another full bathroom downstairs. This is more like a guest room here. It's just if you have more Sims. But yeah, this one is, yeah, it's kind of plain, but it's there. And then there's this toddler room here if you have a couple toddlers. You might have to carry them up the stairs, but that's where it had to be, kind of. And then down here, there is the kids' room, which I love. I think it's so cute that it's all brown and blue and green. It just looks so foresty. And it's got these like white butterflies also. I just love that room. There's a kitchen, which I really love, the like woods and stuff, and of course a dining table with many chairs, because it is definitely designed to be a family build. So yeah, that's the build here. So that's, you really can't tell how many rooms and like little spaces there are on the gallery. It just kind of looks like a mess. Like it basically looks like this on the gallery, and it's like, what is that supposed to mean to me? Like, it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, that's why I wanted to show you guys this one. So with that, that's basically all of the builds. Yeah, like I said, that's all of them. There's Granite Falls and Brightchester. I'll go back just to show you guys what that looks like from the map again. But if you want to download this, the link will be in the description or on my Tumblr, which is whimreaper.tumblr.com. And then, yeah, basically all you have to do is download the save file, drag it into your saves folder, and then it should be ready to play. It'll come up as whimreaper's Overhaul save file version 5, I believe. I might have forgot to change the version number, so it might say 4, but either way it should work. Just make sure that the save file number is not the same as any save files you currently have, or it may mess up your game files. Other than that, if you want some more instructions, Plumbella has a couple videos that are good for that, or some of my earlier videos explain it more in depth. But I hope you enjoyed. This save file obviously includes everything previous to this, so the only things that aren't finished are Del Sol Valley, Sulani, and Salvadorada. So those ones are going to be coming up, or actually I'm in Magnolia Promenade. So those ones will be coming up next. I'm not sure what combination I'm going to do exactly. Probably, I'm thinking Del Sol Valley will be one of them for sure. but otherwise I'm not certain, so comment down below whether you'd prefer Selva Dorada, Magnolia Promenade, or Sulani in addition to Del Sol Valley, and I'll get on that. But basically, it's getting pretty close to being all the way done, which I never thought I would be able to say, so thank you again for those of you who have been watching these videos, who have been subscribing, liking, even playing in the file. I'm just like super happy that anyone would want to use it. Like I said, like I don't know if I've addressed this, but basically the reason I'm making this is not as a job. It started as a personal project, and then I just wanted to share it for other people to use. So I definitely keep in mind other players, but please don't be offended if it's not exactly what you're expecting, because it is also a personal project for myself. So please keep that in mind. Thanks again for watching, and I'm going to put up some screenshots while I talk about basically some channel updates. So this past little while has been kind of crazy. I've been really anxious. I'm just going to be upfront about it. Not sure why. I don't know what's going on. I'm fine. It's just that it's been a lot of little things have been really hard for me lately. So that's why I haven't been posting as much. That's not why I haven't been maybe sounding as enthusiastic in some of my videos. I am for this one because this is a big deal to me, but it's been hard to find things I can be passionate about. So a few updates about my passion basically will be, I'm going to start playing Stardew Valley. I don't know if anyone cares about that. If you do, then subscribe and you'll be able to see those videos when they come out. The reason I'm doing this is because it's a slower pace. I haven't actually played it before, but I've heard it's like Harvest Moon and like Rune Factory, and those ones are really relaxing for me. So I'm thinking that will be a good way to slow down in between like 100 baby challenge videos and stuff. In addition, I am going to be trying to switch editing software. So I may be posting less frequently because I'm going to need to learn new editing tricks, stuff like that. 2 of my videos that I edited, I found out today I cannot export them without paying money I can't afford. So I have to re-edit those videos. It might be a while until the next one comes out, so I'm sorry for that. If I can find any way to do it faster, I will, but that's a thing. Also, I have a new job. It's not that new, but I haven't addressed it on my channel, so I should say that. That's a very good thing for me, but it also means that I have fewer days where I can record and fewer days where I can edit, which means that I work Monday, Thursday, Friday, or no, sorry, I work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So those days are very unlikely for me to post, and they're very unlikely for me to record, so keep that in mind. A lot of my content's going to be on the weekends. I will be posting less frequently. So thank you for your understanding with all of those things. I know that's kind of a lot of little nitpicky stuff, but I think it was just necessary to address that. So if you have any other ideas for games for me to play as well, comment down below. I may not have them, but I could look into it. And other than that, thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you if you are a returning subscriber, or if you're new, or if you're a brand new subscriber even, I'm like double thank you because I just feel flattered. But yeah, with that, I will see you in another video, hopefully. Goodbye!